Have you been to a reptile show recently? Hundreds of vendors, thousands of animals, and an average of less than 20% of those vendors making any money at all. Have you been to Morph Market recently? There are currently over 40,000 ball pythons for sale on the Double M, with many animals staying there for months, sometimes years at a time. In this insanely competitive marketplace, what are you going to do to stand out? I'll tell you what the you're going to do. Aura Reptiles offer premier consultation services on everything from breeding plans to current market trends. Patrick McKnight has been one of the most successful mainstays in the ball python hobby for the past 15 years and can assist you with pairings, marketing plans, and advertising. Be smart enough to know what you don't know. Then learn about it from Aura Reptiles. Check them out on Instagram at Aura Reptiles and get in touch with Patrick McKnight today. Get in the f***ing game.
Wow, I'm not in the room. Wait, there we go. Okay. God fucking damn it. I'm always, Jesus Christ. Can't even get this. There we go. All right. Yeah. Look, I know. All right. Take into account I have one leg. It affects my brain a little bit. What's up, everybody? Thanks to Fatman. I think this is episode 139. Jason Kittinger, Aaron Klein from Batter Up Balls here for 15 minutes. I'm trying to come in hot because Patrick said I was going to come in very excited on the A Really Smart Guy and a Doctor show. And I'm trying to come in hot. This is Chris being excited. This is Chris when he's not excited. So hopefully you see the difference. It's very subtle. Okay. It's very fucking subtle. We got some shit going on this month. I got the Nassau show where it's going to be the last live show that we do where you could pick up a shirt, take pictures with us and everything live for the Operation Deeds Not Words campaign. All the benefits and all the profit from this show goes directly to Camp Freedom in Pennsylvania. They take vets out of a clinical environment and get them back into doing the things that they used to do prior to their injury or disability. So they'll take guys like hunting and camping and fishing and rock climbing, like anything outdoors. So they're definitely a worthy choice this year, and we got a meeting with them, and we're hopefully gonna do this again for them next year. So, but again, once July 4th comes, that's the closing of this campaign. These shirts will not be available. So stop fucking around and pick up a fucking shirt already. I know you've seen the ads, all right? I know you've seen the post on Instagram. Just make it happen, man, all right? To all the people that have bought shirts, fucking thank you. You know, we definitely appreciate it. And, you know, we're at our goal, and we want to get more. Like it would be great if we could walk into Camp Freedom with a check that's you know, above what we wanted to go in there with. So pick up a shirt, all right? Even if you don't like me, nothing is going to me during this whole campaign, all right? And we put a lot of fucking work into something that where nothing goes to me and Jay. It goes directly to the disabled vets. So definitely pick up a shirt if you haven't yet. Again, once July 4th comes, these shirts are not going to be available anymore. So they're kind of like little collector's edition, limited edition shirts. So we'll be going to Camp Freedom in mid-July, I believe, to drop off the check and get a tour of their 6,500 acre facility. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Nice thing is the fucking whole place is made for people in wheelchairs, right? So fucking I'll have no trouble getting around. Other thing I want to point out is that Nikki from Irresistibles got this cool series on her channel called What's in Your Rack, the 15 minutes edition. And she's having former winners and contestants from the current crop of 15 minutes people on that show, giving them like a little bit extra time to show off their animals and everything. It's a really cool show. She already did Shane and Paul from Large March. I believe she has Antoine coming on next. So definitely go to Irresistibles and subscribe to her channel. Nikki is pretty awesome. And like on paper, Nikki and I should not be friends because she's very positive, and you guys know how I am. But go check out Irresistibles. Real quick, just want to let you know the best shipping company to ship your reptiles with is Redline Shipping. You know it. I know it. Don't believe the hype. Fucking, they're still the best fucking reptile shipper in the country. And, you know, listen, people like me will pay a little bit more money to know that, number one, our stuff will get there on time because it's not 99% work of FedEx. But number two, it's important to us to have a phone number that you could actually call and talk to a live human being. So listen, use Redline Robin60. That's the code. You get 65% off the first two or 60% off the first two shipments. And then if you use the code Fatman5, you get an additional $5 off. So go check out Robin. All right, let's see who's in the room here. We got to find out. I don't even have the things. Oh, look, speaking of Nikki, right? What's going on, Nikki? Thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. Fucking Rich and Sarah have been invaluable fucking help to us during the Deeds Not Words campaign. So is Sugar Skull Serpents, Kevin. These guys have been everywhere with me and me and Jay, and they've just killed it. Thank you for all the help. You know, VIP fucking Morphs Canada. Listen, you haven't been any help in this fun campaign. So don't let the international thing fucking get you down. 319, what's up, everyone? Chris, fucking Patreon guy and a shirt guy. Python Prince, fucking what's up, Blake? Fucking shirt guy and Patreon member. So I appreciate you. RNA Ball Pythons, what's going up, brother? Thank you for stopping by and seeing either Blake or no, Blake or I can't even fucking talk today. Jason and Aaron. Fucking look at this. Stephanie's here. Audacious Balls. What's going on, Stephanie? How are you? Dickie Foster. CS. What's up, Dickie? Fucking the badass name. M&K, Mike. It's nice to see you back in the in the thick of things. So I appreciate you being here too, Mike. Sammy has been so much help during this Deeds Not Words thing. We're gonna be hanging out with Sammy, Kevin, Rich, and Sarah, all at Nassau, the Nassau show on the 28th this month. So stop by, pick up a shirt, take a picture with Sammy. Everybody always wants a picture with Sammy. So Raleigh's Reptile Room. What's up, Matt? Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you being here. Balls and Strikes. Look at that. Troy coming out fucking of hibernation for the fucking show. I appreciate you being here, Troy. 217, man, I really should have set this up to where new people would have to become subscribers. Fucking thank you, 217 and Whiskey Bomb. I'm big supporters of Whiskey Bomb. I love what they're doing. Aaron Klein doing a little double dip in here. He's knocking this out. Lucas Landon, what's up, brother? Maybe I'll see you again at Gettysburg, I think. I believe that was the last time I saw you. That's Kai from Lucas Landing. Okay, is that all we got here? Oh, no, look, Dwight the Pie Man fucking sending me music like always. I fucking love it. Dwight is fucking awesome, and I appreciate him being here. Let's see. Do we want to do... Let's do a fucking commercial before we bring on Aaron. Listen, if you guys like what you see here, subscribe, hit the like button. If you want to get like behind the scenes access, we got a lot of cool series on Patreon called the Storyteller series. We have the Shitting On series. We got just a ton of exclusive video on that. So stop by patreon.com/the Fatman Nation. You can join for as little as $5 a month and show us some support for the channel. Hit all the buttons. That's right. Fucking, that's what I'm saying. Just hit all the fucking buttons. All right, let's see here. We got some yeah, thank you, fucking Troy. Storytellers was so much fun to do. And we're gonna have a season 3 coming too. So I appreciate the kind words, Troy. All right, hold on one second. What do we got here?
ReptiChip sets new standards for reptile substrates. Made from the highest quality coconut available anywhere in the world, our products allow enthusiasts to provide their reptiles with the necessary humidity and thermoregulation required to allow their animals to thrive. In the world of reptile care, the substrate forms the very foundation of a healthy and vibrant habitat. At ReptiChip, we've taken this essential element and elevated it to unparalleled heights, blending innovation with sustainability to create a product that stands in a league of its own. Our journey began with a simple yet profound motto. All of our products are made by reptile people, for reptile people. Today, we stand as a beacon of quality and trust, embraced by novice and expert reptile enthusiasts alike. From the meticulous selection of raw materials to our veteran-led approach to business, every facet of ReptiChip reflects a deep-rooted commitment to excellence. Discover why ReptiChip is the preferred choice for reptile enthusiasts around the globe. Our foundation is deeply rooted in passion, quality, and community engagement, setting us apart as a unique leader in the industry. Don't be a Reptivich. Be a Repti bro. Visit us now at reptichip.com.
All right, see, I don't want to run 2 commercials in a row because a lot of people complain that there's too many commercials during the fucking podcast. So I do want to say that, listen, nobody makes commercials like we do, okay? A lot of these other shows will just take some shitty stock footage that you could buy anywhere else or you could get, for free, and they try to conform that stock footage to the commercial. We actually make the people that sponsor us shoot professional video at their place for us so you actually see what the fuck is going on, okay? And listen, I don't take sides with this shit, okay? I even made Justin do it. Matter of fact, yeah, look at this.
The ball python industry has never been more complex, but managing your collection, it's about to get a whole lot easier with Clutch. Created by Canova, Clutch is the cloud-based platform designed to streamline your entire collection management. From creating and searching your inventory to visualizing your breeding projects with powerful analytics, Clutch does it all. Track your clutches with a virtual incubator, connect customers with the perfect animal using an amazing waitlist system, and easily print labels for your shows and facility. It's that simple. You already know Canova for exceptional ball pythons. Now they're making ball python management just as exceptional. Visit cltch.io today and make your ball python road easier to navigate.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes and the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, guys? It's Justin at Nova. For the past 5 years, 15 Minutes of Lame has become a launch pad for so many new successful breeders and a badge of honor in this industry. It's been so amazing to watch the passion and dedication you guys have and to watch your businesses grow. Just remember, the next me might be you.
15 Minutes of Lame!
Look at this. Look who I have here. Fucking the winner of the Stop Sounding and Looking Like Shit contest from 2 years ago. Fucking Aaron Klein from Batter Up Balls. What's up, brother?
What's up? On the new laptop, by the way.
New laptop, which was great because Aaron won like the mic and the camera and shit, and he installed it on his laptop and it blew up his fucking shitty laptop, so he brought a new laptop. So
Yes.
everybody be like fucking Aaron. So what's up, brother? You know how this works. First of all, let's ask you some questions that don't get cut off on the timer. Where are you from?
Illinois.
You're from Illinois, so you're in Tinley country.
We're about 2 hours south of Tinley, 2 hours from St. Louis, and 2 hours from Indy. We're right in the middle.
Oh, so I was talking to somebody today. I was like, Tinley is such not a Chicago show. You know, it's like it's billed as a Chicago show, but it is not. It is like the only time I saw Chicago when I went to Tinley is I saw it like on the horizon, but like fucking 50 miles away from me. So, all right. Well, you know how this works. All right. We're going to put 15 minutes on the clock, and that's going to start now. Talk to me about the name of your business.
A lot of people know us. I coached baseball for about 7 years. My son is a 12-year-old kid right now playing with 13 and 14-year-olds. So we got the baseball theme. We kept it with it. Actually, what's crazy is when we do like local stuff, people still think it's baseball and they don't realize it's ball pythons.
Oh God. All right. Well, yeah. That's funny because when I was with Eyeballs, we actually sponsored the local Little League team.
Yep.
So yeah, I used to love doing that. All right. So this isn't what you do full time, right?
No, I'm a rural carrier. I drive around listening to the podcast, listening to radio. I just drive around putting mail in mailboxes.
Oh, you're a mailman.
Yep.
Fucking okay. Aren't you guys the people that go crazy and go to work and shoot up the place?
I've never seen that. We've seen people get upset, but
you might have never seen it locally, but you've heard about it, right?
Yeah, I think that's more the customers calling in on us.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, so like, how do you even get by now with Amazon and FedEx? Like, fucking, it's still, you know.
I would honestly say we probably work more for them than anything because we deliver all their packages.
Yeah,
I would say I deliver 20 post office boxes and I deliver 80 FedEx or Amazon or UPS boxes a day.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, talk to me. How much money have you put into this so far? And how much money have you gotten out of this so far? And tell everybody how long you've been doing it so we could figure out what you make an hour. Okay, so go ahead.
I would say we've probably got close to about 100,000 invested. Just last year in rats, I made probably 25,000. So this is 5 years in. It took us a while to get the rats going the way it needs to be. We're still working on that. Snakes, we're still making, we're going to have probably 40, 50 clutches this year is our goal. Right. So, and I do a lot of shows. This year we're doing Schaumburg. We're going to do St. Louis NARBC. We do a lot of the Show Me shows, a lot of the Mayo shows in Southern Illinois and Indiana. So we do a lot of shows after baseball season.
Well, that's fucking funny. How the fuck did you get into like Schaumburg with only ball pythons?
Schaumburg is not that hard to get in. It's Tinley. Tinley's the only one that they're always blocking everybody. Schaumburg, we signed up at Tinley actually. So, and St. Louis is about the same.
Do you feel like you have to do the Schaumburg one first before you do Tinley?
I would say we probably need to go to Texas too.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Yeah. That would be a pretty far drive for you, right?
I think it's about 18 hours, but this year I'm going to expand. We're going to do a couple of the Troy Schroeder shows over in Kansas.
Oh,
So
all
we're
American.
going to open it up to about 8 hours driving one way.
Right.
I'm on the wait list for Bob's show, and that one's going to be a hard one to get into too. That one's actually
Bob's show was a great show. It was really well done. Also, I'm going to try and make the Virginia show for All American because they're doing something in Fredericksburg, which is very close to where my so I think I'm going to go down there. What are some big projects you're into? Because you put in $100,000 to this fucking thing. So what are you trying to make? What's your biggest projects for 2025?
I would say right now, Rainbow has been our biggest thing, and we're putting Rainbow Clown into. So we've got Rainbow Clown stuff, we got Rainbow Hypo Clown stuff. This year, I'm going to put my Wookiee Clown boy in with her. So we're trying to build the Rainbow stuff up. We've got Monarch, we've got Ultramel, we've got all of those genes. So it's not a matter of what we want to do. I want to do something separate than everybody else. So really, Adam from Proper Royals is one of the bigger Rainbow guys getting into it.
Yeah,
so
Adam is great. Yeah.
So Rainbow's been our biggest one. That's been the one thing that we've pushed more than anything else. So we've got visuals on the ground. We've got a bunch of hets, a whole lot of hets built up. And we've been waiting for Charlie to finish getting the Rainbow shed test done. And as soon as that's done, I've got a lot to send in for him.
But why Rainbow? I mean, it like, first of all, the name is stupid, right? Because it is not. The name is very misleading, right? But what got you into that? Were you just looking for a project that nobody else was into?
Absolutely. That's the problem. Everybody's got the same stuff, and Rainbow was one of those genes that honestly nobody has. There's not many. I know Billy up in Mutation Creation did it for a little while there. There's not a whole lot of people. So I thought that was something that we could get into. You got to find something that not everybody is into right now.
Yeah.
Just like Cosmos, and then you've got Malice and all those. This was mine. And throwing different genes into it, I think is going to help us out a lot.
Yeah. But genes like Cosmos, I mean, they really they stuck to their guns as far as that being widely available, right? Like, because unless you're dropping down a ton of money and you're promising not to mass produce it, I don't even think you could get into that. But I don't know many other people other than Brittany and Justin that even have Cosmos right now.
They've got it on. They've got it online for sale now. You could buy some, but it's like $20,000-$30,000 for Cosmos. But Malice is just as hard to get into, and Malice is amazing.
I don't know, man. I don't know who's in your opinion, because you're an up and coming guy. Who's buying these $30,000 snakes?
Bob Vu. But at Finley, we saw what? I saw one guy sold 2 DG Clown Exanthics. So people are buying them, and those were, I thought he had them listed at like $31,000 each. So,
right. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is too, though, Bob is going to have an easier time selling a $31,000 snake, as opposed to you. You're going to have a lot more difficult a time.
Absolutely.
Even having that kind of resume on clients that would have 31,000, right? Like,
absolutely. I can't afford it. I can't sell it if I can't buy it. So,
well, yeah, no shit. It's funny actually, because next episode we're having one of the guys on that Bob did buy the DJ Axanthic clown from.
Okay.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see his take on it, because this was his biggest sale that he's ever made. And now it's like you just think about how many years he put in to get this one big sale, right? Like, was it, we're going to talk about, was it worth it? So
I think he sold 2 at that show.
Oh, well, I definitely believe it, but I also know that the price is down significantly from when my guy sold it. So it's like that's how quick everything drops. Like in this hobby, are you surprised at the rate of projects dropping, like how fast they do? And or do you just think, well, it makes sense because it's supply and demand? It's like if more available, the cheaper they're going to be.
When I got in 5 years ago to buy a clown female, single gene, nothing else, was like $750. And now
Right.
I'm like $100. You get a visual with probably a gene or two on top of it.
Right.
So we completely understand it.
Yeah, that's it is what it is, right? But like, how do you think the people like fare in the uphill climb that it is? Because it is an uphill climb, no matter how you put it.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is having people that you can message. I can send a message to Levance. He's one of the guys I've always looked up to. I got Bob Vu. Bob Vu helps me out a lot. I'll
Right.
send him a message, and ask him, what do you think about this? What genes do you think this is? Bob Vu will answer within 10, 15 minutes normally. And I'm in his Patreon. I jump in a lot of the Patreons. We've got KG and all them. So I think having people around us that are willing to help us instead of worrying about selling to us completely, that's huge to me, and somebody like me growing, and I'm the same way. I want to help the people that are coming in that are underneath me as well. So you got to have people that aren't trying to get in your back pocket every time you turn around too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and those Patreons are good. Like the Bob Patreon, the Billy Patreon. Those are all people that actually give a shit about growing the hobby. So that's all good. But let's talk about sponsors real quick because I got a feeling that you're going to do really good on this. All right, I'm hoping. Okay, I got high hopes for you, Aaron. All right, so right now, do you use ReptiChip?
Absolutely. Actually, I'll tell you something that a lot of people don't realize. My first rainbow male actually came from JT.
That's fucking awesome. JT definitely does not give you a big old fuck you. Okay. Have you ever bought a snake from Justin?
Yes, I have a triple head sitting here.
Justin does not give you a fuck you. However, he might. Do you use clutch?
I've done the trial. I've been a husbandry pro person for 5 years, but I've done the trial. I've been trying to compare the two. It's just it's learning the software. So I've got it going, but it's going to be a big changeover too.
All right, so Justin definitely gives you a big old fuck you on that one. So it negates any fucking negates any thumbs up that you give. Do you have any kind of rack or incubator in your house from Sea Serpents?
3 racks and the incubator.
Yeah.
Every time we go to Tinley, Chris
doesn't fuck around. Fucking Chris is probably one of the nicest cage builders in the hobby too. When you got to test your snake shed, who do you use?
You got Charlie.
That's right. Charlie and only Charlie. That's all I'm saying.
He's got all that rainbow stuff building up right now for me.
That's what I'm saying. Charlie doesn't fuck around. Charlie is fucking a dude in his garage just making shit happen, right? So, have you ever been to a herp show?
No, they're a little bit farther south. But if that time limit extends a little bit more, we could probably make it to one.
Let me tell you something. If you can make it to Dallas, you can make it to Louisiana, all right? So Sean Gray gives you a big old fuck you, okay? Have you ever bought any type of caging from Recoil Reptiles?
No, ball pythons, and we got a blood and a king snake, so I haven't needed one just yet.
Alan just says, fuck you, Aaron, okay? All right? Now, when you have to ship a snake, who are you using?
I've used Robin for, 5 years now?
That's what I want to hear, okay? Fucking Robin does not give you a big old fuck you, okay?
Yep.
Let's see here. Who else do we have here? Fucking Chimera. Have you ever been, or Chimera, Aura, right? Aura. Have you ever been to Aura for any type of consulting or anything like that?
I've talked to Aura a lot at Tinley this year. My son and me both had his shirts. We wore them around Tinley all weekend. So since the change, I haven't bought anything, but I've been on his auctions a few times and bid on a few things. I just ain't won it.
Yep. Patrick does not give you a big old fuck you. Now, have you ever been to Show Me Marketplace as far as trying to sell or hawk any of your animals?
We are a member of Show Me Marketplace, but I do a lot of their shows. I don't post a lot online. We do really good at shows.
Beautiful. Well, Mickey does not give you a big old fuck you. Okay. Obviously, you're a member of USARC, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And the last question is, are you going to run in the 15 minutes contest this year?
Absolutely. Already been reaching out to the former champions. I'm gonna get some stuff worked out.
That's what I want to fucking hear.
Shane. I bought snakes from Shane. We've been talking about it for a while. I've been wanting to do this for 5 years now.
Shane is fucking awesome. Actually, Shane was just on Nikki's What's in Your Rack, the 15 minutes edition. So go check that out after this show. But Shane is always like fucking just an awesome dude. So now tell me what the next 5 years is going to hold for Batter Up Balls. Do you plan on becoming a Justin, or do you plan on being more like an Ozzy?
I like the Aussie thought of it. I like the Levance thought. What I got, that's what I got. Nobody needs to know what we got. We're going to do it. We're going to do what we need to do. We're going to get by, but our goal is to make the next big snake. Next year, whenever we hopefully lay our rainbow clown hypo, be the first one doing it. Hopefully it'll hit somebody and show what we can do. But our goal is the same. We want to build stuff that is going to show what we want to do, our passion in it, which I know you don't like passion, but it's we're just trying to get by.
Oh my God. Well, I want to see if I could get my joke in under the time limit, but adding hypo to rainbow is like I don't know. Should I finish the joke? It's like making a retarded kid more retarded. Okay. Fucking that's all I'm saying. All right. So tell me, where could people get in touch with you, and what's the best way to get in touch with you?
We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Batter Up Balls, no underscores, none of that. So we've
that's a good man right there.
We're on all that. Send us a message. I got my personal account. I don't mess with that much on Facebook or Instagram, but you can send us a message on either one. We'll be at all the local shows, hopefully in Illinois, and then we're going to try and do some of the NARBCs. We're going to try and do some of the AARPEs, and hopefully I can get a spot in Bob's show before long.
Yeah, no, that would be fucking great. All right, Aaron, do you have a TikTok?
No.
Good. You can say it. You could say it because I'm not gay. Okay. All right. It's all right.
Can't dance.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, kind of no. It was all drag racing videos when I used to race.
Oh, all right. Cool. Well, thank you for being here, Aaron. I definitely appreciate you stopping by and spending 20 minutes with us. And listen, good luck in the fucking contest.
Thank you.
Everybody, Aaron Klein, Batter Up Balls, fucking throwing his hat in the ring for 15 minutes. Thanks again, Aaron.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Show Me Marketplace is the new online reptile-based selling platform that is both simple and straightforward for both buyers and sellers. More importantly, it was designed specifically for what reptile breeders and keepers have been asking for, a viable alternative for what's currently available in the selling space. No complicated fees, no tiered membership plans. One affordable price gives you access to everything you need, plus unlimited listings from your own Show Me Marketplace store. That's right. More listings, more exposure, and no hidden costs. But that's not all. Sign up today and use code FATMAN-50 at showmereptileshow.com/marketplace and get 50% off your membership. Already a Show Me Show vendor? You'll enjoy an even deeper discount. Building a safe, trusted community is important to us. That's why all sellers go through identity verification to fight fraud and ensure you're working with reputable breeders. It's time to ditch the corporate chaos and get back to what matters. Show Me Marketplace is a true alternative to everything that's out there. So sign up today and join the revolution. Don't be corporate, be punk rock. No matter how old you are. ShowMeReptileShows.com/marketplace.
Look who I have here. Okay. The guy with the porn star last name. Self-promotion at its finest, wearing his own shirt. What's up, Jason?
What's going on, man?
Fucking talk to me a little bit. Talk to me about Kittinger. How did it start? Where did it come from? And why in God's name are you working with your family still?
Well, I started working with reptiles when I was like 16, so it was about 25 years ago now. So my biology teacher in high school, he had some snakes in class, and we just got to talking about some stuff, and then I started working with him. So he kept different colubrids, berms. He had boa constrictors. He had a bunch of snakes. I think he had about 200 snakes at the time when I started working with him. And then we started doing like reptile shows and stuff like that and going out of state and things like that. So that kind of got me into all the reptiles and all that kind of stuff. So I was scared of snakes when I was a kid. So
really,
somehow
25 years.
Yeah.
All right. Considering you look like you're 35, that's fucking nuts, man. But fucking, and you're at every fucking big show in the country, right? Like that has to be, well, I mean, not insane like that. You're not at the super shows in California, but you're pretty much at all the big ones on the East Coast, right? And like, do you have a hard limit on how far you'll go?
But yeah, I mean, I've talked about going to California a couple times, but I mean, typically like 18, 19 hours as far as I want to drive. I mean, that's hard too. It has to be a good show. It has to be a really good show. So if it's a smaller show, I'm not driving more than a couple hours. So
yeah, you're not doing a Tampa Repticon.
That one's only about an hour and 40 minutes away. So I would do that one, but I don't. So
well, I mean, you like you said, you've been in it for 25 years. You're not really producing pet level snakes that would sell at a Repticon, right?
Yeah, typically not. I mean, out of byproduct, we'll have stuff. But even then, I'm selling some kind of triple het as a normal, or some kind of leopard yellow belly, but it's triple het. So
right. Well, and what? How long have you been working with Jen?
Jen's been helping now for probably been about 6 years, I think. So,
and we talked about this a little bit before. Do you find that the sales are easier with the hot blonde behind the table?
She definitely brings people over. So I don't know if it always translates to sales, but people come over at least. They want to talk to her. So
right.
And there's usually more people at the table when I'm gone too.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No. You're intimidating. All right. Fucking that's just I know I didn't want to come up to you, so
I think they just flock to her when I'm gone. Because they don't know that's my sister. Maybe they, like everybody else, think that we're married. So
yeah, no, that was pretty funny. We went to in Georgia. We went to Shane's get together thing, and I saw that you were there too, and I was like, "Yo, that's fucking Jen chaperone, man. Like that's the dude keeping the guys away from fucking Jen all night." So, but what made her decide to come work with you? And like I'm sure you had a problem with like you didn't plan on hiring your sister, especially after growing up with her, right?
Well, I mean, we're really close anyway. As far as my family, our siblings, we're really close. Like we're not like most families where they fight and they hate each other all the time. We're not like that. We're actually cool. We like to hang out with each other. So it came in a point, my son was probably like 1 or 2 years old. I was just pretty much about to go full time with the snakes. I just had a lot of animals. We were, like drawing plans to build a house, and I was working full time. It was just, I really needed some help. And so she came out and just tried to help clean some snake cages and stuff like that. And then it just kind of turned from like one day a week and then multiple days. Now she's out here, 5 days a week. So.
Right. Well, what did you do prior to this?
I've done different types of construction. So my last job before I did the snakes full time was like a commercial glazer. So I did a lot of glass work, like big dealerships, like rooms to goes, things like that, where the big glass walls. So
what was the tipping point where you were like, all right, I'm gonna do the snakes full time and fuck this dependable hate.
Well, when I was younger, even in high school, for my senior project, I did a project. My project was on becoming a professional snake breeder. That's what I did it on. So, I always wanted to do it back then. I thought it seemed pretty neat and interesting. Obviously, I didn't plan on having just a bunch of ball pythons. Plan on having a lot of reptiles.
Right.
That hasn't really happened recently. So, this last 10 years or so. So, but.
What was it like? And were you married at the time?
Well, see, when I get married, I think I've been married for 10 years, but I've been with my wife since I was 16 as well. So,
okay. So what did she say when you were like, I think I'm going to quit my job and just do this full time?
Well, I've always had a big collection for the most part. And it's been fairly successful for the last probably 15 years. But towards there, at like the end, like my collection was just getting strong enough to where I was going to finally start making some really good stuff, because I started pretty much from the bottom. I made all my own heads, tried to work my way up in the project. So it took a long time, but everything was starting to come together the year that I actually decided to quit. And we wanted to be around to spend more time with my son. So, so we wanted to, because I was out of town working a lot for doing the construction stuff too. So I'd be gone most of the week, come back for a couple of days and be gone again sometimes. And that might last 3 or 4 months, and then I could be working in town every day for, 6 months, but you just never knew, my schedule was kind of all over the place. So, and with all those snakes too, like if I was out of town all week, I mean, all I did all weekend was getting caught back up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, you're one of the guys that do this full time and do it fairly successfully, right? I mean, it's, it's been your, are you the only one working in your family, or does your wife work also?
She helps with the business stuff. So she's actually works for her family's business as well, to just helps them with some stuff too. But she takes care of the social media and emails, things like that.
So now, do you still, and it is probably more of a personal question, but do you feel like the pressure every month still of doing this, and would you recommend it to somebody?
It sucks the fun out of it. I mean, everybody says it. It's different when you live it. It definitely sucks the fun out of it. When you got to worry about paying your bills and taking care of your family and stuff like that, it can definitely get stressful. When you look at a clutch of eggs go bad in the incubator, where there's potential for a $50,000 clutch, or, maybe some of your best projects just don't go, they reabsorb, they absorb follicles or whatever that the case may be. It's like, you feel those losses a lot more, when it's full time. It definitely hurts more. So,
yeah. So I would say, like, still, like I always say, like, when I was doing it, we were the king of hitting the low odds. Like if a snake, if a clutch could be worth $30,000 or $2,000. We rocked at hitting that $2,000 clutch like all the time, like fucking, like we had zero luck in this fucking thing. But it gotta be, we were talking before, you were like, one month you could make 30 grand, the next month you could make $2 grand.
Yeah.
Right. So what advice would you give somebody coming into it that's just like to the guy that just made his first $30,000 month? What advice would you give that guy?
I would just tell him to be careful with your money. I mean, I think everybody should save money, and you need to save money for the hard times. You want to have 6 months worth of money sitting there for feed and expenses. And, even like when you look at all the shows, I mean, that stuff adds up a lot. I mean, the travel, the airlines, the hotels, I mean, we spend quite a bit of money doing shows. So, it doesn't take much. You can have a incubator failure and you could lose, half of your year's income just like that, so it's a risky thing. So I think saving money, being focused, definitely be driven, and kind of definitely do something that you want to work with. Don't just follow the trends,
Right.
do things that you actually like, because you'll enjoy it much, much longer. So
Is your facility located in your house, or do you have an outside facility?
it's an outside building. So
Okay, um, so Jen, I remember talking to her in Georgia. She's like an hour away, right?
yeah, about 55 minutes. So
Jen's driving an hour each way
yep.
to do the shit that she does for you. Okay.
I was trying to get her to move out here, but her son's still in school. So, once he graduates, maybe that would change some things, but
I'm
it would be nice.
Florida, like I'm Florida stupid. I don't know where Tampa is related to Daytona. Okay.
Mhm.
So in Florida, it's a weird thing too, because you guys have to put up with, even though it's just ball pythons, you still have a couple of things that you have to do as far as fish and game for your collection, right?
Yes. Yeah, we'd have to have that class 3 permit. It's not really hard to get, I guess. I mean, you just fill out the paperwork, and as long as everything's legit, you're good. They can do inspections. Typically, from what I've seen, you don't typically have that problem unless somebody calls on you and complains about something. But I've been fairly fortunate. I haven't had any issues with anything. So
right, okay. And where are you in Florida?
I'm a little bit north of Orlando, so nobody is probably going to know where I'm at. I live out in Umatilla, which is middle of nowhere, pretty much.
I've never even heard of that. Okay,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So I'm west of Daytona by about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm north of Tampa by about an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm kind of like in the dead middle of the state almost. I'm a little bit further north than center, but
right. So you're in the place in Florida with no water, right? Like basically you no beaches by you.
Yeah, no beaches. I'm like an hour and 15 minutes both to either coast. So
yeah. Oh my God, the only guy in Florida that's not on the beach. So you must love doing Daytona, right?
I like it because it's one of my best shows, and it's very close. So
yeah.
And I grew up going to Daytona anyway, as a kid. So
well, when you were a kid, I don't know what are you, 38, 40?
I'm 40, yeah.
Okay. Would 40-year-old Jason be shocked that fucking Daytona is still around? Like fucking when you were like 10 or 11 going to Daytonas?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine that it's been going on for so long. That's for sure. So
yeah, I mean, Wayne looked 90 in like 2004, right? Like, so fucking it's insane now. How long do you think Daytona's gonna be there? I mean, without a doubt, something will take its place, but how much longer do you think you're gonna get out of Wayne as far as Daytona goes?
Man, that's hard to say. I'm always surprised, every year when I get that new thing in the mail or in the email saying to sign up again. Because I mean, there for a while I thought they were going to stop doing it anyway, but I think Wayne's going to go until his last day. I think so.
Yeah, I mean that shit's crazy.
Like you said, it seems like he hasn't aged in 10 years. He looks the same he looked 10 years ago almost. So
yeah, he still looks like he died 10 years ago. But fucking, it is what it is. But honestly, it's like Daytona used to be in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, right? So, I would love it if somebody else did a bigger Florida show. You know what? I would love it if somebody did a show a little bit more north than Florida, because fucking, I gotta tell you, man, going to Daytona, when you're a guy like me, you're from New York, and you leave 70-degree weather, and you walk into Daytona in the middle of August, it is like being punched in the balls as soon as you walk out of the airport with the fucking heat. So I would love like a big, like Bob's doing with the Georgia show, hell, I would love a big Pennsylvania show, somewhere a little bit, in my type of weather. So the big ones that you go to every year are what, Daytona, Tinley, and what, Bob's show, the SCRE show?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I do All American too, just the North Carolina one. I was going to do Tennessee, but inventory wise, I just didn't really have anything, in my opinion, for the first Tennessee show. So,
right. Yeah, I would have loved to go to that Nashville show, man. I mean, I haven't been to Nashville in a couple of years. But I love what they're doing. Do you notice a giant difference between the running of let's say a Bob and Troy show versus a Brian show with NARBC?
I mean, they're all a little bit different. I mean, Bob's show it's ran in a very particular way, and it's quite amazing what he's done with that show. Troy's shows are good too, but Bob's show is, it's really put together very well. The location's good of the new venue too, and just the way that they help with loading and unloading, and just, I mean, everything was thought about, and it really shows and makes the show easier. He has a really nice show. So
it was unbelievable, man. Fucking there was like 30 people working there that it was just their job to help vendors, get their shit to their table.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great run show. I definitely enjoyed that show. I'm gonna take 2 minutes here to just pay some bills. All right, so hold on one second. We got to show off fucking my boy Charlie. Right, listen. If you need your shit shed tested, go to fucking Charlie. Look, there's a ton of fucking morph names here that he has. I'm not gonna read them all because it's a lot. Okay, it's like 80 fucking things here, and it's not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Charlie doesn't pay me enough. So listen, if you need it, Charlie probably got it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And Charlie's the guy to go to. There's other companies that you could go to, but who wants to fucking do that? You want to support the fucking badass New Yorker who's doing shit out of his garage. Fucking shedtesting.com. Contact Charlie. I actually just did a show with Charlie in Albany, New York, where we were hawking Deeds Not Word shirts, and Charlie was talking about shed testing all day. Fucking came with his wife, came with his kid, fucking talked to people about it all fucking day. He's definitely the guy to go to. So shedtesting.com, everything from albino to zebra. And he also has a show on his network called A Really Smart Guy and a Doctor that they do on the 1st of every month. So do me a favor and just, go to Charlie, man. Fucking listen, you're an asshole if you don't go to Charlie, okay? And then fucking Herps, all right? I think they're the best run local show circuit in the country. They're going to be in Denison, Texas on June 7th and 8th. They're going to be in Conroe on June 14th and 15th. They're going to be in Longview, Texas on June 21st and 22nd. They're going to be in Sulphur, Louisiana on June 28th and 29th. They're going to stick around Louisiana and go to Slidell on July 19th and 20th. They're going to be in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Well, shit, goddamn hell, fuck. July 26th and 27th. Then they're going back to Corpus Christi, Texas on August, 8th? Or no, the 9th and 10th. So go check out fucking herpshow.net. Tell Sean and Lori that their shows are fucking amazing because they always are, okay? All right, so look, I got to talk to you about ball pythons because that's probably why people are here. But what are some big projects fucking Kittinger is into? And like, why did he pick those projects?
Well, right now I'm pretty heavy in all the puzzle stuff. Kind of transitioned over into that. I started buying a bunch of stuff a couple years ago because it was something a little bit different. As far as like, I don't have any really regular puzzle stuff. So for my base mostly is like hypo puzzle. We're trying to do axanthic puzzle, hypo-axanthic puzzles, axanthic DG puzzles. We're trying to get puzzle pretty much into everything. Really just trying to get some genes in there too, just in general as well. So hopefully make some new stuff this year, and then the next year we should really start cranking out some cool stuff. So
why do you think it's taken so long for people to realize that, hey, I could put an incomplete dominant into this fucking thing and it would still be triple head or double head?
Yeah.
Like, why did it take people so long where people were just like, hey, I got 20 snakes in my rack worth $300,000 that all look normal?
Yeah. I think a lot of people just, it seemed like a lot of people just weren't willing to take risk, and they wanted to do things safe, or when they made hets, they weren't sure, how far they wanted to go in the project. So they didn't put genes in, or maybe they just had whatever was lying around. I'm not sure how they got there, but I tend to like to do risky pairings. So, for me, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I very seldom have normal stuff unless that's just I got really unlucky and it's a normal triple head because I missed everything else that I could have made. So,
right.
So,
that's I mean, and that just irritated me for like the first three or 4 years of this. We're doing triple head stuff now. It's like, why not put a pinstripe in now? Like fucking, I mean, even something basic like a fucking Enchi. Don't make me spend $20,000 on a fucking normal.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, sometimes it does pay off. But I just never got that. So, what are some breeders, or just name me a couple of breeders that you look up to that might not be the bigger guys? Like name me some breeders that are still relatively known for just being in the middle, or even unknown, like not top tier. Like, don't name Justin or Bob, or like fucking name a couple of people that would surprise me.
Well, you probably don't. You may or may not know my buddy Barry. So he does a lot of puzzle stuff. So it's Barry Swope, and his business.
Swope, yeah.
So like he's finally got himself like a business name, and he's trying to work some stuff like that. So I've known Barry for a long time. Probably, I think I met him when I was like 16 or 17. But we do a lot of projects and stuff together now too. So he's somebody that has like very, very good vision. He knows, like, he's just made really good decisions. Like, maybe he doesn't stay in a project, and follow it all the way through. That's kind of his downfall, but he's really good about seeing what works, where to go with projects, things like that. So,
right.
He's definitely one of those guys that I think, if he put himself out there a little bit more, he'd definitely be a lot more well-known for sure. Even though a lot of people do know him because he's been doing it for so long. But
right. Yeah. I've heard of Barry like years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. If it had anything to do with puzzle, pretty much that was his thing, I mean, he's always made nice stuff though, really nice hypos and, some other stuff too. So.
Right. But, all right. And give me a couple other ones.
Trying to think who's another Florida person. Oh, it's hard. I know so many people, but a lot of them are fairly big breeders.
Right.
No, my buddy Dale too. He's pretty good with constricted reptiles. He's got a lot of different stuff. He's a real go-getter. He works real hard. So he's got a ton of animals. So, but mostly ball pythons. But he breeds boas too. I think he does some colubrids like corn snakes. So, but he's another guy that's really good too, and he's just a really good person too, which is nice. Right. I've definitely found a lot of really good people. My buddy Danny and Renee from Portuguese Pythons, they're awesome.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah.
I can't say that they're a smaller breeder either. They've moved pretty quick in the few years they've been in it. So, but they're really good at what they do. They make beautiful animals. They're great people. They're good about social media and all that stuff. So they really know what they're doing. So.
Yeah, and fucking Renee is cute as fuck, right? It's like fucking, she's just has that face that's like, I'm gonna buy something from you no matter what, like fucking. Now, you're how many reptiles are in your facility? And the majority, I'm assuming, are ball pythons.
Yeah, right now we're probably around like 220, 250 right now in the building. And most of them are ball pythons. We have 10 green tree pythons, 2 carpets, 2 hognose, and then I think we have 10 boas. So,
did you ever plan on expanding the species list a little bit? Like, are you ever, You know, are you ever going to do boas, or are you going to do? I mean, because the boas and the chondro people, they seem a lot more willing to spend bigger money than the ball python people.
Yeah, and they're a lot harder to breed too. Boas and the
Yeah.
incondos are much harder. So I am getting back into breeding the green trees again. So I did that about 10 years ago. With some success. I wasn't a giant breeder by all means, but I was getting clutches for like 3 or 4 years. So it took me a while to figure it out. But I really like those. So I want to get back into that. The boa constrictors I like, but for some reason, the last couple of years, I just can't seem to make anything. I'm just getting slugs. But I mostly work with like leopards, albino leopards, trying to make red dragons, which is the blood albinos. So I'm very specific about the boas that I like. And I have a pair of Argentines as well. But
yeah, Argentines were my first litter of boas, and fucking my God, I wanted to have babies so bad until I had babies. And then fucking I stuck my head in that fucking, we were in a big 8-foot melamine fucking cage. And that's just gross as fuck, right? It's like, it's just like I'm looking at all this ooze, then I vomit, and now I'm cleaning up vomit and ooze. And I'm just like, man, this is the worst part about fucking owning boas, right? But also the boas need a lot more space, so it's it's definitely a hard thing to get into. And the green trees I only bred for like 2 or 3 years, but never purposely. Like we'd put a couple together and just hope, and then next thing you know, we fucking had clutches. But it's definitely something that I would like to do. But like I'm 50 years old now. I like keeping my house cold. All right. I don't want to walk into an 85-degree snake room every fucking day and have to fucking, work in it. And I mean, it can be done. I mean, Sean Bradley proved that it can be done from a wheelchair, right? So fucking, I'd hate to think that there was something he could do that I couldn't do. All right. So I definitely think that I would love to get into it again, but the amount of time that it would take. And like I don't love it enough to think, man, I'm gonna make 2 bedrooms in my house reptile rooms again, but yeah, Kevin says it's so much fun. It's so much fun until like what Jason was talking about, and you getting ready for that $50,000 clutch, and you end up having a $2,000 clutch with a bunch of $300 animals in it that you have to sell for $150, right? So that immediately takes the fun out of it. But your opinion real quick, best thing about the hobby and worst thing about the hobby.
I think it's kind of both. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the people.
That's right. It's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's some really amazing people, and there's so many terrible people. I've met
so many terrible people.
Yeah. I've met so many great people in the industry, just over the last probably 10 years since I've been out there a little bit more. And it's just, I've made some really good friends, and, for the most part, I don't run into a lot of the shit bags. But, I try to steer clear of them anyway, but, so I've been fortunate on that front. I don't have
it's just so unavoidable, right? It's like fucking, it's like, and don't get me wrong, like the people that I know and that I talk to on a daily and, that I really have respect for, they're really some of the best people that I know. But on the other hand, damn, there's so many dicks. There's so many dicks in this fucking hobby. All right. Yep. So like, what's a pet peeve of yours that immediately pisses you off when you see it? Fred, what's up, brother? Thank you for buying a shirt, Fred, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, the thing that bothers me the most is, typically, it's like a morph market thing or something where you're selling something and, you get these either super low ball offers or just some number, like I don't like it. Like I hate it when people send me a message and then it'll just be a number, $500, something like that.
With a question mark, right?
Yeah. And it'll be a third of the value, and it's like, naturally I want to be rude. I want to be mean back. And my wife says, oh, you got to be professional. I'm thinking, but do I really always, And a lot of times I'll just go, like if she usually answers it, but if I get there first, it'll just be like, no, I won't write anything else.
That's what I used to do when people would be like, yo, can you send me a couple more pictures of the belly? And I'm just like, no, it's a $300 snake. I'm not going to fucking take 10 pictures of it for you. But if you just answer back no, they immediately call you a pompous dick after that. They're like, oh, you didn't have to be a fucking cocksucker about it. You could have fucking just took the damn pictures. But no, people don't understand how frustrating it is. The other thing that I've always found annoying was the $300 snake bite or snake buyer is so much more of a pain in the ass than the $10,000 snake buyer.
Yeah.
Right. Like
fucking the $300 about 10 times the amount of work.
So. Yeah. Seriously. The guy spends 10 grand. You never hear from him again unless he wants another snake. All right. The fucking guy spends 300. You were telling me that fucking you had some woman that you sold a boa to at a show or a ball python at a show that called you like within a couple of hours.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. There for a while, like we stopped even bringing like the low end stuff just because it was happening so much,
Right.
Like literally there would always be at least one person after a show would be a couple hours later saying the snake doesn't eat,
Right. Yeah, that's a fun time, right?
Yeah.
Those fun people to fucking deal with. Yeah. Don't be that person. That's all. Like you should have a sign on your table. You know who would have a sign saying that? Limey would have a sign saying that. Like, don't call me for at least a week.
And I usually tell, like, if we're selling a cheap snake, I'm usually trying to give that spiel out right then and there. Like, this is what you need to do with it. Try to circumvent some of these problems, but it's still kind of some of the people still do it. So
yeah, they also the problem with Morph Market is it really opened up the pool of people. Like to the assholes. It really made every asshole available to just bother you and DM you. Like, what would you say your conversion rate is on Morph Market these days?
You mean as far as like how many people I deal with versus how many sales I get from it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty good, I would say, for the most part. Yeah, it's got to be up there. I don't know. I would think it's got to be about 80%. Usually, if somebody inquires, or they usually end up buying something.
Right. Okay.
So it's not bad, and we do at least half of our sales is from Morph Market a year, probably a little more than that.
Yeah, keep that. I want to talk about that ratio, but Mike is like, once a lady bought a ball for me, then tried to feed it in the car at the show and said it wouldn't eat. Like, yeah, those are the assholes, right? Fucking Jerome, what's up, brother? Fucking miss you, man. Fucking No Limit Raw. Go check out Jerome on Morph Market and Instagram and everywhere else. Jerome is a fucking awesome guy. So now, what's the future for Kittinger Reptiles? Like, do you still want to do this? Like,
it's a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. So probably more often than not, it'd be like, I wouldn't be upset if I sold out and went back to construction for a little bit. But, it's just, the times are a little bit tougher. We talked a little bit, but like the cost of everything's up, but the value of the snake, so that makes it a little more challenging too. But I don't want to get out. That's for sure. I just, I'd like to be able to fast forward like another year. That would be cool. So,
right. Well, everybody's talking about how it's going to come back. I think to a point it has come back, right? You're still making the pre-COVID prices, right? It's just that COVID blew everything up. So you're never going to make the COVID prices back. But at the end of the day, it's like, is that still like good enough for you? Like fucking, because like you said, everything else is going up, but it seems like the prices of these fucking ball pythons are going down.
Yeah. Well, in some projects, way worse than others, like
right.
Sometimes it's like I'll make something and it'll be at that 10,000 mark. By the time I finally get to sell one, it's like 3,000, it's like, come on, what happened? So, But I mean,
But-
I'm still not complaining about a $3,000 snake. That's still
Well,
great.
that's what I was going to say. Like three grand a snake is still great money, right?
Yeah.
But when you're doing it full time, you're definitely making plans off that $10,000 sale rather than the $3,000 sale, and the $3,000 sale sets you significantly more behind than the $10,000 sale would have. So there's been a bunch of people getting out, but fucking it's also like a great time to buy, right? Like,
yeah, it's a great time to invest.
You get a $10,000 snake from Kittinger for $3,000. All right, fucking, I'm gonna pick that snake up.
Yeah, hit me up, guys.
Yeah. So it is a good time to buy. Did you ever see it returning to the heyday, or do you think like it's more normalized now?
Yeah, I think it's more normalized. I just can't imagine how it would get back to that point, especially if you look at where we've come in ball pythons in 10 years. It's pretty ridiculous, like the amount of animals that we've made, the type of animals, like the variations of animals. Like, how do we keep moving forward? I know, like, we are finding new genes. A lot of these new genes are old genes, but we are getting some actual new ones, but I don't feel like it's kind of the same. I think we've done so much so fast. I just don't think it can ever really go back to that crazy price point, but I think there's still going to be valuable snakes, and there's still going to be cool stuff to do. There's lots of stuff to be done still, because, we talked about earlier too, like, how people have just kind of jumped so far, like so fast into some of these other things and haven't mixed a lot of stuff with it and made really good versions of stuff. We're making a lot of these triple recessives and quad recessives, but maybe not with a lot of genes in them,
Right.
Or figuring out the best genes to put in them. Like, a lot of people are doing the exact same genes. So,
right. Well, I want to just touch upon that whole a lot of new genes or old genes thing. And that shit is perpetuated by that cunt over in England that fucking has a new name for Enchi and a new name for fucking Pinstripe and a new name for Spider. All right. Fuck that guy. Okay. Fucking fuck that guy. Immediately, like 2 weeks after people started hating on Spider and made Spider $50, he comes up with a fucking spider without a wobble and calls it something stupid like the Terminator or the fucking whatever the fuck he did. But yeah, beware, people. Fucking fuck that guy. Okay. Yeah. Do not even get fooled with that. Yeah. What are some new genes that you want in your collection? Like, have you hit that point in your career where you're not going to spend 20 grand on a snake anymore?
I've never spent 20 grand on a snake. So that's why it's taken me so long to get anywhere. But I think the most, I ended up getting a snake from Barry Swope. And it was a super orange dream Enchi yellow belly hypo puzzle female. It was worth about 20 grand at the time. But I remodeled 2 bathrooms in his house, and I think I ended up paying money too for it. So,
oh God, okay, all right.
So that was the most valuable thing I've ever had to work or kind of work towards it with paying. But that was probably it was a good snake. I definitely didn't make my money back on it yet. That's for sure. So, but
yeah, that's realistic. The $30,000 snake has always been. Oh, okay. We just switched that out right while I was reading it, huh? Okay, all right. Yeah, 30,000 has always been max 10K snakes. Yeah. No, it's very true. And Justin was on our Zoom call on the Patreon one time, and someone asked him, like, eventually at some point, a snake that you could get at Petco is going to look as good as a $30,000 snake. Okay. And eventually, okay, I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow, and I'm not saying that the snake is going to have the same genes in it, but like, if a person thinks that something is just as cool and they could pick it up for $1,000 as your $30,000 snake is, and they think that visually that snake looks just as good, where are the 30 grand people going to be once that point comes?
Yeah, I think it's like, we're almost like collectors, right? We like things that are rare. honestly, like we're starting to make stuff now that, I mean, you can buy a $300 snake that looks better than a $30,000 snake. Like you get to, I have family members that aren't into the snakes, and they'll come to a show and they'll be looking at a banana or some kind of pied, and then you'll show them something that's worth 20 grand and like, oh yeah, that's nice. But this, I really like this and it's $200.
Right.
So I think it's just going to be for the collector aspect of it that's the only reason we're going to have the value, those type of values. And I'm not, like I said, 30,000 is a lot.
But is that collector value enough to sustain the entire hobby?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I expected pretty much everything that's happening, with all the snakes, the way everybody's come and how we've all built to this so fast and where we're kind of at now with the amount of animals that are out there. And I kind of expected this to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but it definitely did. So it's hard to say because, no matter what, all the animals are still out there. Everything that people have made is out there. We're going to have tons of animals still. So, we just need more people to get in the snakes or get more snakes out of the country, and I think, I don't know, like, I think there's plenty of people out there to buy stuff. And I think, maybe in another year or so, sales will really start to pick up again. So maybe not for the real high end stuff, but, for all the other stuff.
Right. Well, I've been hearing rumors of Chewy getting involved in reptiles. And if Chewy gets involved in reptiles, all they have to do is put a ball python on the homepage of their website, and that'll blow up for all the mid-level breeders, right? Because fucking everybody will want, one from there. They got 30 million people hitting their site every month. Yeah. So I think that would be a good thing as far as what goes. But, right now there's 40,000 snakes available on Morph Market. So that would mean that there has to be 5 times that amount in the country, right?
Oh yeah, probably more than that. It's probably a lot more. So.
Right. So, that's where I see the problem being, like that's where I see, is that pool of people that do buy the $20,000 and $30,000 snakes enough to sustain an entire group of hopefuls that fucking want to hit that point in their career, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think, the more of the people, even the people that get in that buy a pastel, somebody that's still buying a pet snake, if they have a good experience with that pet snake, they're going to be way more likely to buy something else, and typically speaking, they're going to buy something better and they're going to continue to do that as well. So I think, anybody that comes into the hobby, which is going to continue to grow because, the reptiles, they're just different. And in reality, in my opinion, they're easier to take care of, obviously, than a dog or something. You can actually leave them, so I think the draw will be just to get bigger and bigger. And then I think everybody will kind of still keep doing the same thing. And it's easy. It's like you have one snake. I mean, it's not much harder to have 6,
Right. But it is harder to have 100. Okay,
yeah.
Because 100 is a full-time job, and nobody that I know, or very few people that I know, only have 1 or 2 ball pythons. Everybody always has like 15, and they're like, I'm going to breed, and I'm going to, but I might be wrong with the hobby sustain the higher things, because like I got a shitty car when I was younger, and I always wanted a better car. But the car that I got now, I'm okay with, all right? And I'm maxed out. It's only like a $50,000 car. I'm not going to go out and buy a $200,000 car or a $500,000 car. But there are enough people in the world that are buying the $500,000 cars that, they could, Bentley's not fucking worried about the guy who has a Kia fucking make, picking up a Bentley. So I can understand that point too. But I really just don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to watch over the last, the next 10 years or so, because it's definitely, I've seen people get out that I didn't think would get out, so that's something a little bit different. But, and also you're kind of too young to get out, right? Like fucking, like, yeah, you're fucking 40. Like you still got 10 good years in this, fucking at least, fucking. To go back to construction, I would imagine it would be a fairly big, change for your family,
Yeah, I do miss it though. I do miss going out and building things. I did it my whole life. As long as I've even done the snakes, right? So, but it's definitely a part of my identity. So the transition was weird too, just not getting up every day, going to work, and just I don't know. Like it's different when you can actually you're building something. You walk away at the end of the day, you can see what you did. In the snake room, certain times of the year, it's just work. You're not hatching babies. It's just all you're doing is feeding, cleaning, pairing, and it just seems like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So
well, that's the other thing that irritates the fuck out of me is that when fucking the snake people call themselves artists.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're not an artist. Like you're putting two animals together that would fuck regardless if you were there or not. Okay. If they met in the wild, they would fuck anyway. All right. So you just change the location that they're fucking in, and they're fucking in your house now. Yeah. So there's a difference between that and actually making something and building something, but listen, I love what everybody's doing with everything, but like, don't call yourself an artist, right? You're not making something from nothing. Okay. and you're doing it with profit in mind the whole time. Right. So fucking nobody's like, I'm going to put this $35,000 snake in with this other $35,000 snake. And I just want to see what it makes. That's all I want to do. I'm just going to keep it. I'm not, so fucking, you're all doing it for some kind of profit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just, I mean, come on, let's stop with the artist bullshit.
It's amazing how many people say, it's like, oh, you shouldn't do it for the money. I go, maybe not the only reason you do it, but it's definitely a driving factor. If there was no money involved, I wouldn't have this many.
Fucking Ozzy told me that like 15 years ago. He's like, what's wrong with doing something for the money?
Yeah.
And look where Ozzy is. Okay.
Yep.
So, no, I don't really get that. So, what's your best piece of, that's right. It's the best pyramid scheme out of it. It's not really a pyramid scheme, but it is it is very similar. Like if it was a pyramid scheme, anything I sold to Jerome, let's say, I would get a piece of anything that he sells from my snake, and it would go up the line a little bit. It's not really a pyramid scheme, but it is a problem that I think that Tom Baker, the guy that first did the crystal, he told me when he was getting out of it before he died, he's like, I just can't figure out how to solve the problem that I'm always selling to my competition, and my competition will have a better chance of getting, more ahead than I do one year. And that'll be a shitty year for me, Yeah, so I would imagine that's a lot of people's problems, right?
Yeah. My first year doing it full time, is when I started making, I think it was my first year. I started making acid clowns, and acid clowns are still really valuable at the time. We're like, I think I was selling like black acid clowns. There's a black pastel acid. I think I was getting like $8,000 for them, at the time. And it was, God, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that?
Black pastel acid clown. All right. You were selling them for $8,000.
Yeah, but it had something to do with what we were just talking about.
Selling to your competition.
Competition. There it is. So, and that's what I knew. I'm watching all these guys invest big money, because that's when a lot of people started like really coming out of there and just investing big money. And I'm like, I'm selling $8,000 snake to this person. They're buying a $10,000 snake to breed to it from someone else. In 2 years, I know for a fact they're making better snakes than me. Unless I'm spending a lot of money to reinvest to get those premium animals.
Right.
But it's just like, I knew it was going to happen, and it did. I mean, a lot of people I sold snakes to make awesome things, better things that I can make in a project, because I'm not holding back everything. So,
right. That's just the way it goes, man. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard problem to solve. I haven't figured out either,
And I think that's where like making sure you reinvest, right? I have too many projects. So it's like I have to pick and choose which one I want to invest in each year, or a couple, because I can't invest in all of them, So if I spend $50,000 on snakes, I'm only getting, a few, and it's for a few different projects. And it's probably a couple male, or one male for this one, male for this one, something like that. And I can't even buy the best thing because I have to buy all this other stuff.
Right.
If you're more specific with what you work with project wise, you can definitely be more successful. It's way easier. So, but I find that to be boring too, though. I like having a lot of stuff, a lot of variety. So.
Well, right. And the comment just was you can't keep them all, right? Like fucking, but like, and for a new breeder, especially, that allure of selling that one snake that you have for 20 grand. I mean, that's a big temptation, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've sold plenty of snakes that I shouldn't have sold. Like when I first made my first axanthic clown, I made a beautiful male, amazing looking animal. I sold it to fund 2 other projects. I didn't make another one for 3 years.
Right. Exactly.
And here I am barely making axanthic clowns all this time later, so I've made that mistake multiple times, and you pay for it, you definitely.
Yeah. It's like keeping that snake would mean that you have to be tremendously lucky over the next couple of years, or selling that snake rather.
Yeah.
You would have to be tremendously lucky to think that you can make that one again, especially when it's 1 in 256 or 1 in whatever.
Yeah.
It's a little tempting, man. Fucking I know that when my partner hit that triple visual from a triple head to a triple head, I was just like, sell that motherfucker, get rid of it. And he's like, yeah, but if I do, like I can maybe make 200,000 next year on this, as opposed to whatever I'm making on it now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I think Sean Bradley said it. I hate to fucking quote Sean Bradley, but he was like, somebody told him money in the bank is better than a dead snake in the tank, right? So fuck, it's and it's true. Like, how many times have you just opened up a fucking tub and there was a dead snake in it, right? And you had no idea why the fucking thing died.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's always one of your favorite ones or something like that. It seems to be.
Yeah.
So.
And the normals of the single gene shits are always the ones that'll fucking live forever. Okay.
Yeah.
The multi-gene codoms are the ones that have a heart attack when you move the rack to a different area in the room, right?
Yeah.
And you fucking open up the tub the next day and it's dead, and you're like, great, that's 12 grand out the window,
Yeah.
So but well, listen, what are you gonna do? Right? There's not much else you can do.
Yeah.
So next couple of months, what shows are you gonna be at?
My next show is going to be Bob's show in Atlanta. So, and then I have Daytona the week after that. So
I was going to say that's really close to Daytona, right? So
yeah, I wish it wasn't so close. But it kind of is what it is. I like Bob's show, so you're going to just deal with it. So, and the only upside to having 2 shows right back to back almost too, is that it's like, I only really get ready for the one show. And if that show's really good, then I have to change a lot of stuff. But, sometimes you sell maybe 10 snakes. It's not that hard to swap it out and then, go to the next show. It's pretty easy. So it's kind of nice when they are close together because you have almost the same inventory.
Right. Well, and Bob's show, I mean, Bob is a big enough name to draw people from Daytona if they're only going to go to one place, right? Like, I mean, that's the only problem I see with it, is that like when we went to Bob's show, it was clear that like everybody wanted to be there, and last few Daytonas I've been to, I don't know, man, I look around at some of those faces and they're just like, I don't know why the fuck I'm here, So that may be an issue coming up, but I think that SCRE may be the pushing point for Wayne to just be like, all right, I'm done with this for now,
Yeah, and like you said, I think Bob has enough of a following that if Wayne did stop doing Daytona, that Bob could kind of replace that show probably. Especially where his venue was, there's enough room there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt,
really make it bigger. So, which is really nice about it too. He has the ability to expand. At least
Yeah.
I'm assuming he does. In that
Well, and the
venue.
hotel is right there, and fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, like Bob's show. And I'm not sucking Bob's dick because fucking I think Bob's mad at me right now. But Bob's show was like a clinic on how fucking shows should be put on. Like I definitely thought that when I went to it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even vending fucking snakes. I was hawking shirts.
Yeah.
And fucking we still had people helping us, do shit and everything. So I definitely think that Bob's show is going to be considered like Bob's. It's his second show, and it's already considered a national show.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited about the growth of it for sure.
Well, all right. So you're gonna do Bob's show in Daytona, but those are both in August, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You're not doing anything until then.
Nope.
Just taking off.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of the small shows anymore. I used to do Dallas and Schaumburg and St. Louis, but it just the drives are far, for me to run out to these other shows, and half the time they're not profitable enough. Like when I come back and I could have just had a sale and sold everything for 50% off on Work Market or 40% or 60% off. It's like, what's the point? In the beginning stages, it's different when you need to meet people and get your name out there. But
right,
I did a lot of that. I did that for a long time. So
yeah, it's Jerome, I'm definitely thinking about going to that Fredericksburg show. It really coincides nice with my day job and everything else. So I definitely want to go. Prior to this, I didn't really want to go to a fucking American show until I was walking again. But then I figured, fuck it. Why not? I'm just as funny. Now I'm just as funny on a lower level. Okay. So fucking it's all good.
I like the All American too. I like having the plants and stuff there.
Yeah.
It's different. I like to look at different stuff too. So, I'm always wandering around looking for plants and stuff like that. Jen loves all the plants too. So I definitely like Troy's show too. I mean, they're great too. So,
well, I definitely, I want to go just to really support Troy, because Troy is always like, man, the first time I met Troy, I hated him. I'm like, who's this dick with the tuxedo gimmick? It's so fucking stupid. While simultaneously walking up to him with this dumb hat on and being like, yo, I'm Chris from Snakes in the Valley. He probably was like, who's this dick in the hat? Right. and then I got to know Troy, and I fucking, he's a good dude, man. So I want his show to be great too.
Yeah, he's a really good person. He's somebody that, I talk to not on a regular basis, but it's not just at shows. He'll reach out every now and again. We'll just touch base and just shoot the shit. So I really like Troy too. So he's another really good person. So,
all right. Well, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Probably on Instagram, Facebook. It's under Kittinger Reptiles. Anything Morph Market related, obviously, is attached to the Kittinger Reptiles as well. So. I know you don't have TikTok. We were talking about maybe starting a TikTok. So,
but if you have a TikTok, all right, just have Jen in it in a tight shirt showing off the dump snakes. Okay, you're gonna get fucking 20,000 fans the first day. Yeah. Okay, as opposed to you going on and being like, "This is a ball python. This is whatever." Fucking, I'll swipe right past that. I see Jen. I'll be like, I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna follow this guy.
Your attention span just got longer.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So, but all right. So everybody, Kittinger Reptiles. Luckily, there's no stupid underscore or anything in that fucking name. And listen, it's Kittinger. Okay. All right. So that's all I'm saying. All right, fucking Jason. Thank you very much for fucking.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. So.
Hang out backstage for a minute, and we'll just bullshit and call it a night after that. But all right, Jason Kittinger, everybody, fucking, he's the man. All right, fucking cool dude, man. I mean, I like that guy. I knew I was gonna like him when I met him at Georgia. All right, listen, everybody, we're doing some fucking cool shit. We got I think we're gonna do a open Zoom call for Patreon people this week or next week. I have Fatman live on Sunday again. So don't forget to be there. If you want to join the Patreon and the Discord and all that other fun shit, you know, please do that. But more importantly, go to fatmannation.com and click on the Support Disabled Vets tab and buy a fucking shirt, man. All right? Show the disabled vets that you fucking support them. These dudes risked everything so you didn't have to risk anything. All right? Stop being a bitch and fucking pick up a shirt. You know, I would absolutely appreciate it, guys. Also, just so you know, this episode was sponsored by Sea Serpents. What else could you say about Chris? I'm going to get to hang out with Chris in Gettysburg next month, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're going live all day from the Gettysburg Reptile Expo in Pennsylvania. I love that show. I love that little town that it's in. And, you know, so if you're in the area, come fucking hang. It's so much better than that other Pennsylvania show that I will not mention right now. But anyway, listen, get a Sea Serpents rack, get a Sea Serpents incubator. Chris is literally like the nicest guy on the fucking planet, okay? All right. Yeah, I think I hocked enough of my fucking shit tonight. I think that we're just gonna call it an evening. We're gonna leave with my boy Alan from Recoil Reptiles. Take it easy, guys, and I'll probably see you Sunday. If not, I'll see you on the Patreon. Take care.
At Recoil Reptiles, we understand your reptiles deserve the best. That's why we create custom CNC reptile enclosures with precision cuts, built to last and designed to showcase your scaly friends in style. With over a decade of experience, we craft enclosures up to 8 feet long, tailored to fit your needs and the needs of your animals. Whether you're a hobbyist or a breeder, we've got you covered with enclosures that are as unique as your reptiles. And we deliver to shows in Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. Recoil Reptiles, custom precision, built for your reptiles, built to last. Visit recoilreptiles.com today to design your perfect enclosure or call 405-999-7175.